Hello and welcome to ALB Productions podcast. And
Thank
so
you.
we have seen your film. I will not talk about it more because it's a protocol because it's in the queue as a participant, right? So I just
Yeah.
want me and the judges have seen your film. It was very wonderful. That's it. So just tell me about that. When you were making this film, what was your experience and what are the difficulties you faced actually?
So the project started as my graduation project. So I was doing design in
Okay.
Delhi, and the topic which I chose was science fiction in India. So
Yeah.
why science fiction is not working out in India like it's working in Hollywood, and I was researching on why. And then I found out some reasons, some story wise, narration wise, some problems that is happening in India. So as the manifestation of my entire research and my design, I created a script in which I anticipated that a science fiction that would work or that could try to change what was already happening. So I made a series of comparative analysis of all the science fiction that is made in India, and then I compared it to why it didn't work out like other movies that used to work out, and I found some reasons for that, like they're not being connected. So I'll give you an example, uh, like if you take Indiran as an example,
What?
uh,
What film?
robot, robot,
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah. Eternal. Yes, yes, yes.
yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
Yes.
Okay, so that movie, it was a massive hit. It was the Rajnikant, the star cast, and
Exactly.
A. Rahman, and Shankar. Everyone was huge in that movie. But why it didn't work as a science fiction movie? So my major comparative analysis of that movie was to Terminator, the
Okay.
Arnold
Yeah,
Schwarzenegger's
yeah.
Terminator.
I've seen that. Yeah.
So if you take this basic storyline, it's both are the same. It's an AI trying to take control over the human race, or in robot, it's just a person. So the how the story changed is that in Terminator, the AI's first thought or first intelligence that it had was survival, the
Mm.
basic instinct that every species will have. But in the end, the first feeling or first thought that the robot had was romance.
Yeah.
So there was that kind of illogicality in those two. So that is what I was trying to connect over there. So then I started building upon that, and I took family as a main emotion, and how would a person in a family would go desperately and use science fiction as a medium to get what he wants. So if you have seen the film, you'll understand that in order to retrieve something that he has already lost, he even bends the rules of reality.
Mm.
So that is how the script was made. And then production was the most difficult part because we were still students, and money was a problem. We had to fund from ourselves. My mentor helped me a lot with this money problem.
So you gathered some fund from others, or you put your value only?
So the half was put by my mentor itself.
Yeah.
He put a lot of trust in me. He's like,
That's
take,
very
I
good.
don't idea.
That's very good. Yeah.
And the rest of it was from my hands only. Like some I have saved, and it was huge help from my team also. So camera, the editor, all we were all roommates, and also they were also making film as their part of the graduation project. So we helped each other. So that was a huge help.
Mm.
The challenges that I faced mainly was the first main challenge that I faced was uh, the last day of the shoot. So what happened was the script initially was made. The if you've seen the movie, the child
Mhm.
is a 2 month-old baby, but the actually script was a 4-year-old, 3-year-old killed.
Okay.
We found out a friend who had a sister, and we sourced that out. We set everything out because I found that connection was more stronger than a baby.
Yeah.
And we had so many shots planned for the baby, the child itself, so many actions planned for that. But on the last day of the shoot, like previous night of the shoot, the child's mother called and said we couldn't come, like we can't come tomorrow. So we rented out the camera, the lights, all things were done, and we have to plan the scheduled shoot. So that didn't work out. So I had to change that script entire night. Like the previous day of the shoot, I had to change the entire script to a baby and how the incidents would turn out. So
So
it's like
like
a
last night you made the changes in the script.
yeah.
Very
So
good.
the changes, the script depended upon the events that revolved around the child. Like the child had to pick up the rose, and then child it was revolved around the child. But
Yes.
here, since the child is not there, we had to replace the child with an inanimate object. And how the changes would come if it is an inanimate object,
Yeah.
and the actor itself who made the situations, and we changed the entire script. I think that is the major backdraw which happened, even if there is something backdraw in the film, which I also know that. But major backdraw was because of that. The entire script was changed, and the
Yeah.
solidity or the motive was entirely, because I didn't have enough time to
Rewrite this. Yeah.
rewrite the script. So that was a major backdraw which happened.
Yeah.
Then one more challenge we faced was we didn't get any official permit from police or any officials to shoot. It was an outdoor shooting, like
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
few scenes were inside the house. Rest all was outdoor. So blocking the road, controlling the mass, it was a very big issue. We called all our friends, like all the juniors who were having classes. We called them and we kept them like 100 meters on the radius, and we said, don't allow any car. If anyone comes, just tell we are professionals. Don't tell your students. So they at least. So there is this car accident scene that happens in the last. So we actually planned it as an actual car accident. But what happened was that the mass started reacting very badly. Like they started coming questioning, who are you? Why are you doing this? So
I totally understand this. Yes.
yeah. So if you see the last scene, you'll understand
Yes.
that there are some randomly walking people who come in the frame
Yes.
and look at it because they actually thought it was an accident. So that entire shoot, that entire sequence, almost half a day to shoot. So we only took the camera and lights all for 3 days because of the budget problem. So we had to finish it in that. So even that was a difficulty that we faced. The rest all, I think it worked out the way it was supposed to be, and I am really happy with the product, and I'm really happy to be here also.
That's very great actually, because as an independent artist, it's too difficult to do these kind of things if you have a very low budget and if you don't have the permission. I had this incident happened. I have to make a fight scene. It's the last scene in my film, so I have to make a fight scene, and I made that fight scene in front of police station. I didn't even took the permission, so we were like hiding. When the police came, we got hide. Then we made that fight scene. So it was very kind of stressful, but it was good. It was a good experience actually. So tell me that when you when you already made this film, as you were talking that you were lack of budget and you already borrow some funds from your mentor, then you already added. So what was the budget of the total film? Like what was the total budget of production and post production? What was the total thing?
So we didn't had to hire anyone to do something because all the people that you see is all my college friends. The Ashwin, he's my junior. The Jenny Ishita, she's my batchmate.
Okay.
Then since it's a graduation project, I am the one who did most of the things like the script, the edit, the direction, the production, all was done by me. Then I hired people. No, I didn't hire anyone. I took help from all my friends to help me out. We all came together. So I have a studio, like the channel which I put my film in. It's called 28 Production. So that is like we 4 people are there. Me, Anugrah, and Azil. We started. Azil, that was my guest. So we started a production house within ourselves. Like if we want to make a movies, we can come together and make a movies.
Yeah.
So largely it was just crowd help. There was no funding required. The major money went in lighting. Like we rented out the lights. We rented out the
What
camera.
lights, like you rented out, like the 3-point lighting or what?
The baby lights for the room
lights.
sequence. Yeah. For the room sequence. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying, okay, that you have rented that light.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the room sequence, our room was little inside. We shot it like early morning so that we won't
Okay,
make
so
any noise.
actually the natural light is dull actually in your place, right? That's
Outdoor it is natural lighting is there, so we didn't need any light for that. The indoor sequence, when Ashwin and Jenny are meeting and they are talking, so we needed light for that. Just one day light, we only needed one day. The camera, we took out lenses. We took out 35, 50, 85 and 16. We needed both wide and close-up. So we took camera lens and lenses. Then we made the entire room, the blackboards, the production, the car. We cleaned, like the car was a friend of ours, but it was very bad condition. So we cleaned the car. We did all that. Then the major, you see the tea shop that is there nearby, no?
Yes.
Yeah. So we like 1-2 weeks before the shoot happens, me and Azil, we both went and we befriended him. Like we started talking to him, and then we drank tea. We drank every day tea from him, and then it was part of a process. We befriend him so that we can have a good relationship when we shoot. So that and all will go under that. So I think the budget would come around 50 to 60,000 rupees.
50 to 60,000, right?
Yeah. The
That's
camera itself was 20,000, 25,000,
so you
22,000.
rented out the cameras, right? So how many cameras
Yes.
you took?
We took one camera, which is Sony's, and we took five lenses with it. We had a zoom lens, which is
You,
200.
I guess you had only then one DOP in your film, right?
We had we had three DOPs.
You have three, one DOP and two cinematographers.
Yeah.
Okay. So
And
as you said that you have only one camera, right? And only and there were one DOP and two cinematographers. So how both of the cinematographers have taken
so
like
it was like assistant. So there were so many running shots and so many. So this car sequence, whenever
yes.
the Azil is sitting inside the car and the person has to sit.
Uh,
So it was like one car was where Azil is sitting, and the other car, me and someone else will be driving. So from this car, we'll have to hold the cameraman
all right. So you have to
because
do some movement shot. So you have to
yeah.
put this camera on
So,
the head. All right.
the DOP is main guy, like Anugrah is the main DOP, and we had assistants. So Amit and I also helped in the assistant. So we both were the assistants of the cameraman. The DOP is main one guy.
Okay. That's great. So, do you? So, as you said that your the film you have made is science fiction. It was very good actually. So, what do you think that in the future projects, what genre you'll be taking in the future project?
Uh, okay. So my I was a science student basically. I
Mhm.
was a NEET aspirant.
I'm sorry to interfere, but I actually love the science fiction genres.
Yeah.
I admire Christopher Nolan because I've written and made a research paper on him.
Okay.
His film Tenet and Insomnia. I've written a research paper on it. So it's kind of relatable, But I'm not a science student. I'm a commerce student, but I
Oh,
kind of love these science fiction films.
okay.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you. So I'm a big science student, and like there was this IIT exam and I got it, and also I loved science for a period of my time, and I think that is when my storytelling love also started. Like I loved telling stories. So I had a friend Elvin, so he couldn't watch movies like I could. So what he used to do is that whenever I see a movie and come, he would tell me the story of the movie because since he can't watch it, and he loved my like he laughed more than that I laughed when I was watching the film. So I was like, "Bro, why would you laugh this much?" Because I didn't even laugh this much. So he's like, I don't know, it's just a narration skill. So I started then imagining how this would turn out. I loved sky, stars. I was so much into astrophysics that I was this close to go and study that. But I think I couldn't. I don't know why what happened. So that is how my science ka interest came and science fiction ka interest came. And whenever I tell a story to someone, I would always there is always conflict in my stories. Like, why is this not happening? Why is this not happening? And one of the mysteries that we always face is the science fiction today's world.
Yeah.
And it was my graduation project, so we had to choose a solid topic. So I always admired Christopher Nolan, like you said. Interstellar is my favorite movie. Like whenever that movie is released in theaters, I would make sure I'll go and watch.
It was recently released, I guess,
Yeah.
the Stiller,
Yeah.
right? I didn't got the
Yeah.
tickets actually.
Yeah. So I went for IMAX.
You
It was
went
my
to-
third time in my theater.
That was
I
very
went.
great.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Interstellar in theaters. It was a very regret for me. I
Yeah.
haven't watched it.
You should. Yeah. Like I would
I
suggest you
have
to.
to. I want to actually.
Yeah. So I even planned like there was this PVR, there was a scheme that if you have enough votes, you can actually screen for your private screening. So we and my friends made a plan and made Interstellar
Okay.
as a private, but
So
we
you
didn't get enough.
actually plan to screen that film,
Yeah.
the
No,
Interstellar
not
film.
Interstellar, not people.
Yeah. I'm talking
Yeah,
about Interstellar. So you actually planned and to watch that in Interstellar theater.
yeah. So, but that didn't work out because we didn't get enough votes. So we were in Delhi, so it was all about Bollywood more than
Yeah.
Interstellar. So we didn't get it. And I think that is how my science fiction ka this one released. But more than science fiction, what I would say my writing skills is character wise. So how would I entire story? If you see this film also, the entire story revolves around one person, Ashwin, the Steve. So in there, I would see how science fiction could play, and definitely I have some science fiction stories in my mind, like some multiversal and like I loved everything everywhere all at once, and
That was a
I
great film, right?
yeah, that was a great science fiction film. So
And
I
also that film you said it's an independent film, it's from an independent production, so it's
yeah,
very.
yeah. Yeah, that was very true inspiration to all four of us that if they can make, then of course we can
Yes.
do it. So I definitely have some of them in my mind, and I would one of my main criteria would be a science fiction film. I
That's
would be
very good.
taking
That's
one.
very, because some of there are a lot of independent filmmakers who wanted to explore more genres,
Yeah,
love drama, science fiction, and there's some independent filmmakers who wanted to stick on one genre and make that masterpiece. Seriously.
yeah, yeah,
So actually, the film was very good when our judges saw that film. So they were like, "Yeah, that's very nice. That's a good script." And I said,
yeah.
"Okay," gave them the official selection. They said, "Okay, for sure." So it's like that. And so, as you said that your future projects are going to be in science fiction. So what do you think if in the coming years or in the coming months, if you got an offer from the big production houses, and you so there are two options or two options for now I'm going to give you. So first, if you got a offer from a big production house and you have to make a drama or love film, love story or an action thriller, let's say. So would you choose that? And they'll be giving all the funds on you. So will you be choosing that, or if you and there's an and you have a story with you, it's a science fiction film. So would you be doing that? Just tell me.
So I'll tell you one more thing. That for my graduation project, one of the main reason that I found out why science fiction is not working out in India is one big reason is propaganda. Like NASA propagands so much that Americans or the entire world believe that interstellar is possible by Americans, or gravity is actually possible, or Martian is actually possible. But ISRO doesn't do this. ISRO, they do their stuffs, they market it, and but if a space movie is released in India, we wouldn't believe that it's possible in India. Like, नहीं हो सकता इसमें इधर में. It's possible in America, but not here. So that is the difference between what happens. Why people don't want to try it or want to go and see it also is because they don't believe, they can't relate to it, so they can't have any kind of correlation with that entire script or story or film. So, and I couldn't work on that factor. Like, we had to take many factors and work on that. So I couldn't take that factor because it will take time. Because if you compare it to the space race, India is little behind. Like, India's first moon mission is successful now in
Yeah.
2023, whereas we believe that NASA's was 69. So it will take time. So it, like, one advice my mentor gave me was that if you take this factor, time as a factor, you won't be able to do anything. Like, you can make a script, you can make a film, but you know that time is inevitable factor and you can't play any role in that. So there is no point in making an amazing science fiction film right now and releasing it. So time is what it takes. Time is what that factor needs. So if you give me these two choices, like if I have to make a science fiction movie right now, I wouldn't go for that because I know that time is a very important factor in understanding science fiction in India. I would say that people are not ready for it. People are not welcoming it. But I'm very sure that in 10 years, I'm not just speculating. I think I have enough reasons to come to this conclusion that in 10 years, science fiction will be one of the genres that we see in India. And
I also
then,
think that actually.
yeah. And if you give me this choice right now, I would choose the production house for drama film because why? Again, I have another reasons also. I'm still a amateur filmmaker. I'm not like professional. Like I really want to work on my storytelling skills, adding layers, adding narration styles, techniques. I want to learn so much more that I don't want to waste my immaturity in my baby. Like if I make a science fiction script, it's my baby. I don't
Yes.
want to become unprofessional in my baby. So I'll learn everything I can. I'll work with them. I'll get the funds. I'll get my experience. I'll get my exposure. I'll get my connects, and then I'll come back and work with my baby, and I'll make it as beautiful or more beautiful than I could ever make.
That's a very great thing you said actually, because there is a series came last year, I guess, and this genre was science fiction.
Is it JL50?
It
The
was
flight was.
No. It was an Indian. It was an Indian series called Space Force. I guess I forgot that name from in Netflix play, and I
Space
forgot.
Force is not an Indian show. I think
I
it's JL50 because that was part of my research.
no. Do you know that character from Mirzapur जो गुड्डू का भाई बन जो छोटा वाला भाई होता है? Have you
Is
seen
it?
Mirzapur?
No, no, I've not seen
You
it.
haven't seen. Uh,
Is it the Zindagi Na Milega Dobara guy? That
no.
Abedi or
Let me tell you.
yeah, sure.
This Vikram Base.
Okay.
So
What is the series name?
the series name is. Let me show you. No, it was a very underrated series, but and it's actually a flop, but it was good. I like that. And I guess I cannot find it here because it's too, I don't know what was that. Let me see. Cargo.
Okay.
It was a film actually. I guess I don't know. It was a film or series. I watched that. It's like whenever whenever a person dies on Earth, he or she came to that spaceship as a dead.
Yeah.
So it's kind
Okay.
of science fiction. The film is totally shot on a rocket. So it was a very good film. It was underrated, but people don't like that because it was not that time for science fiction.
Yeah, yeah.
It's released in 2019.
Oh, yeah. I think that is one main factor. Like, I
Yeah.
mean,
So it's like, Brahmastra was a good science fiction film, but it's a
I wouldn't
mythology.
call Brahmastra as a science fiction. It's more of fantastical because there is no science that they're talking about.
Yeah,
There is no
we
actual
can we can
physics.
say that there's no science, but the way they have shown,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the
It's an
way they have
amazing.
connected all the devs, all the bhagwans to them, it was very good actually.
Yeah,
So I can relate to that. And nowadays we are doing good as in the box office or in the films, I guess, because the films are coming out good. So I guess
yeah,
maybe a
yeah.
science fiction film.
So
Maybe
it is even.
some of the directors may be making a science fiction film, so we are just waiting.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's very sad to see that good stories are being wasted also. So, for example, I was very sad when Ravan didn't work out. Like Ravan,
The
Shah Rukh
Ravan,
Khan's
that was a very
Shah
good
Rukh.
film actually.
Yeah, yeah. That had so much potential. I
Yeah.
don't know what happened. I mean, I know what happened, but
The
it had so
CG and
much.
visuals is very good of that film actually.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Even the cast was amazing.
Yeah.
It had so much potential. So,
Yes,
like,
yeah,
I,
so much.
so I would think,
The film fan no sorry the Zero film was very good. The first half of the Zero film was very good. The second half when they went to NASA and all the it was kind of jerk, but it was good. I guess my
yeah,
opinion is well. I love that film.
yeah.
That's, yeah. So the last thing you wanted to say something about your film to the audience who will be watching your podcast, and you want to thanks to your teammate or something. Just go on. It's your 2 minutes now. You want to
Okay,
say
so first of all, I would like to thank my entire team. Like, I mean, it would be told them personally, but I would think they would feel nice because I invited Azul also there. Um, that on a platform with them, thanking them that I still owe them. Like, even if I still owe them everything that I've did, my entire crew, my actors, my people who were there, my mentor, everyone. Huge thanks. People who funded, like the money which I told from my side is by my brother, and
yeah.
I take it from all my family people. So I huge thanks to all of them. Then people who watch this. So I'm not saying this is the like best film out there or anything. I'm saying it's a genuine, uh,
It's a genuine story with a good content. I just want to say that
yeah,
from my
genuine
side.
story. Yeah, even I would say it's a genuine story with a genuine director trying to say something out loud. It could be his politics or anything, but it's something that really needs to be talked about. And it's not. I didn't make this movie for a mass audience saying that everyone should
Yeah.
watch and clap or anything. Like it's not a commercial film. I wouldn't do that. I would say that it's made for everyone. Like everyone can understand it. Everyone can really. It's not just a Nolan movie where you need to watch it twice or thrice to understand. You can watch it. You can understand it from once.
We understood.
Uh,
We understood.
yeah. So so I would say that I would hope that you have a good time watching this, and not just watch it as a random entertainer, but after 13 minutes of that film, just sit for 2 minutes and try to think, oh yeah, it makes sense. And I want that film to live in their mind for at least after the film, not just during the film. I want them to think about that film, talk about that film, and and then maybe inspire other aspiring filmmakers or people who write to take scripts or write something that usually don't work out, or usually that no one goes for it. So that's what I'm hoping, and that's the change that I believe that happens in the Indian industry.
One of my judges got inspired by watching your film because she's very into science fiction, and she worked with me in a science fiction film. It was her first film called One Last Time. So it's like we were very inspired by that. Independent filmmakers are going in above level in the content area.
Yeah.
It's they have a lack of budget. We know that. We also have a lack of budget. You also have a lack of budget, but we have the content. So if the sponsors and the fundraisers will be watching this podcast, if they wanted to invest a fund, so maybe we'll get you a good revenue by giving you good content. So independent filmmakers are growing day by day, and it's very good. As I'm taking this interview, I have seen a lot of filmmakers who are very good in the content area. That's why we selected these films. So
and one more thing, I would like to thank you and the organization for considering watching the film and considering it.
No, it's like we love independent films because we make independent films. Whenever an independent filmmaker make a film and it has a very good content, so we get inspired and we got proud. So, we have a team of 23 people and all are cinephiles, all are cinephiles. And whenever they see the films from independent filmmaking world, it's like, so it's very good. And I just want to say that the film festival is going to be held on 23rd and 24th of September, as you know. So the link soon, and I really request you to send that link to your friends and family too, because your film will be screening on that film festival. So it will be very great, and maybe we will get a chance to talk to you during the film festival if we get time, and speakers from around the countries around the world will be joining us to give you some tips and tricks in the short film. And there's a filmmaker who make science fiction films, so he'll be joining too. Okay, so if you just follow us on Instagram, so for the more
follow you on Instagram.
And maybe today we'll be posting the schedule, most probably maybe or tomorrow. So do follow that, and let's meet you on the film festival. Thank you so much for this meeting.
Thank you so much.
You're a very good person and a very good director. I really must say that.
Thank you
so much for this, and thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much.
Nithin. Thank you.